Hey guys, David here. We're going to work on a couple of at-home drills using stuff that you probably have around your house. I'm going to cut right to the chase and get right into it. So the first thing is actually just I have taken a piece of string and tied it to one of the light fixtures. In this case, I would actually recommend though, just even maybe using a piece of masking tape or something like that, just on the off chance that like your wraps around your foot or something like that. You don't want to accidentally pull that down, and hopefully that doesn't happen here on camera, but one of the ideas is you can use that for target practice. And the idea is I want to try and get, when I'm throwing a punch, I want to try and get it where right between the two knuckles goes into the string. Boom. One of the other things that we can also practice with this is our kicks. And the other thing is you can, since this is just a little piece of yarn, you can take and put different marks on it, either with magic markers or something like that, or and that way you can have essentially a different target. So for example, I could put like a little mark right there, and that little bend right there. That way I can practice aiming at that mark. And then maybe next day, maybe I put the mark a little bit higher. That way I'm getting a chance to practice at different heights. The other thing is, while you are quarantined and stuck away, you can cut it a little bit shorter each time. Now, one of the other things that we have, and literally all this is half of a pull noodle and a coat rack. Now, honestly, if I was going to be doing this, in actuality, I would want to have it attached here, but this is a great way that you can practice some of your blocks. So the idea on this, and I'll angle it kind of this way, is the idea that, for example, at white belt, we teach that side middle block. So the idea is I can move in and press, and then do my strike here, and then switch sides, pop. Gold belt, for example, we have coming across, hook, strike. Now, obviously, I can't pull too hard or anything like that, otherwise this is going to come flying off, or it's going to pull the entire apparatus towards us. The other thing is, if you don't have a pull noodle, one of the other things that you could use is also, once again, a piece of string or a martial arts belt or something like that, and have it tied around, and the idea is you would just keep a hold on one side. So that hand would come here, here, and boom. And then I would practice switching sides. 1, 2, boom. And the idea is this hand would then try and keep a good hold on that belt or that string or whatever. And there's a very famous karate nerd who I was watching one of his YouTube videos, and he kind of talked about that. So I'm not going to take credit for the idea of using a rope or a belt or something like that. I will, however, take full credit for the idea of using pull noodles. Pull noodles are fantastic. The other thing is, if you have a partner, say a family member that you're quarantined with, you can get them to hold it and practice kicks and strikes and all that kind of stuff, and even get them to swing at you and practice blocks. And by the way, it is almost impossible to hurt somebody with one of these. I will say almost, but it does make a good stress reliever. Nice big loud noise, not a lot of ouchie. One of the other last things is, right now I have, these are wool dryer balls, but you can use them to practice hand-eye coordination, just the idea of throwing it up in the air and catching. You could also potentially use tennis balls or something like that, but they tend to bounce all around the house, whereas if I miss a catch on this, it's pretty much just going to hit the floor and roll away, as opposed to bouncing all over the place. The other thing is, if you don't have something like this, seriously, take some clean, dry socks and roll them up into a ball. Works just the same. The idea, guys, though, is that we want to try and figure out things that we can do to practice while we are stuck away from the dojang. So I hope this helped, and maybe it's given you some other ideas on things that you can do at home. But the main thing is that we need to keep everything as fresh as we can. We need to practice as much as we can. That way, Once all this is hopefully passed, then we can get back to training and get things back into, get back into the swing of things without too much loss of skill, of technique, or of knowledge. Good luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Have a good one.